Swung by Kenworth. We got parts. So I've been having a little bit of trouble with the truck lately. I've got one bad sensor in the for the rear axle. The temp sensor's going in and out, so I need a new plug for that. But I also have been having a low water sensor that's going on and off, on and off. It's pretty easy to read if the wrench is there and the temperature. If the wrench isn't there and the temperature is fine, you're not out of water. But it's been acting hinky and it's going out, so I think it's the wiring and not the sensor itself. But we went and forego that. I'm going to wait till I get back up and talk to the company about that one. But I did buy some mud flaps and a pair of new hangers. Now I still have to get bolts for the mud flaps, but bought some nice new hangers that are chrome and are not rusty. So let's get these things home and we'll put them on. It was 85 degrees yesterday. It's 25 now. So I'm supposed to have a high of 47 degrees today. So I'll wait and see how I feel. I still haven't fixed the pickup truck yet. I said that was a job for March, but I got a couple of days. So, yeah. Well, we're home now, and I've been soaking these things down for about a week now. Got the WD-40 out. And to replace these, I've been literally just soaking these things down for about a week. They're a little dirty, but it's penetrant after all, so yep. Got to run next town over to do some business there today, some tax work. While I'm there, I'm going to have to swing by the hardware store and buy hardware for the mud flaps. But so, yep. Gonna sit there and probably tomorrow when it warms up a little bit. It should be about 60 tomorrow. It's not quite 50 today yet, so displays the long sleeve shirts. So I'll get these all going, and then once it warms up a little tomorrow, we'll pull all the stuff out of the back seat of the car and I'll show you what I got. So it's the next morning. It's 23 degrees. This is why I don't buy lottery tickets. Warmest week on record for quite some time until the day I got home. Anyhow, we got to run up here to the Kansas Truck Center. There's one thing I forgot. We'll see if they got it, and show you what it is when I get there. So, I got what I needed. Reflector tape. Totally spaced my mind when I was at the dealer the other day picking up the parts. I had to go to a couple different spots. At the Kansas Truck Center, they only had a roll of the white and strips of the white, and I didn't want just that. So, yeah, didn't want just strips of that. And then, so these right here run me about $2.50, and the whole roll of the white at the Kansas Truck Center was $135. Now you are DOT required. It is a ticketable offense to not have that on there. It just is. I guess you got to have reflective device or something on the edges or corners. Or I'll have to look it up. I do know it is a ticket if you don't have it. Whatever. So we got those. So I'm gonna head home and get this thing started. Hey, all right. Look who's back. Somebody hit a skunk. Me and that light, we're old school friends. You really want to look it up. Here it is, 393-11. It's 11 pages of literally everything. And yeah, it shows you where to put them on the truck, the trailer, the straight truck, the dump truck, the cement. I mean, campers, buses. Yeah, there's a lot to it, but pretty much there's a boat trailer in here. I think I saw it, and that's a dolly. Yep, cow trailers, box trailers. Yeah, they pretty much cover everything. So according to what I just read, that isn't going to work. It has to be, or they have to be alternating red, white, and 2 feet long. Let's go measure the ones on the truck. What's amazing is I have 19 tape measures and I can't find any of them. I got a junk drawer. So this is a total of 18 inches here. Now I already know the truck is legal because I have 24-inch mud flaps, which is 2 feet. But let's go check them out. And there we go. And I just realized that these are plates, so I'll take these out and reuse them. I'll clean them up. And I actually can fix this with the stuff I got, so I think we're good. So progress has happened. We got them off with the help of Mr. Impact. When you go to buy these, make sure that you measure these. Let me get make sure that you know what you're doing. These are 2.5. The ones I bought are 2.5. Now there was a reason I've been greasing these up for several days, because they are seized up. But with the help of Mr. Impact and Mr. Breaker Bar, they won't be for long. So I'm going to use the breaker bar to just crack them loose, and then I'll use the impact to get them out. So truthfully, something very expected happened. I was expecting this, gave it half a twist and it broke off. These are probably all going to do the same thing. Don't worry, your new one comes with new hardware. These trucks, despite the fact they're really not that old, take so much abuse back here that they just, you know, these are made in China anyways. But yeah, so they'll break. So this one broke and the piece flew into there, if you can see that. So there's a big spring in there. If you wanted to get that out, you'd have to undo that bolt, reset it, or you could probably get it out the other way, but I wouldn't. The reason it come out, see, it's a big U-bolt in there. So let me break the other one off, and we can get the new pieces out. Let me show you what I got. Yep, so just give this thing a pull. And there she goes. So I got all the new stuff still in the back of the Crown Vic, the white one. So let me go haul all of this out over there, and then we'll unbox it there and I'll show you what I got. So those are the new mud flaps, which are actually kind of long. These have been shortened up because they shorten them up so they don't run them over when they back into things, and you'll do a lot of damage, rip them out. Those are my new hangers, made from the finest Chinesium. So let's see. Yep, there we go. Oh, I see. That little plate right there, you remove that once you get it bolted in. Do that and it will sit flush. That spring inside here is an absolute monster, like that garbage truck. But so yeah, let's get this on. You can tell this is the passenger side because this bolt head right here will be facing back, and the nut is facing the other side. And just like that, it's on. I'm not gonna lie, an impact takes all the guesswork out of it. the little Milwaukee I got. But the reason I sat there and I greased it up was I actually didn't know it would break. If I'd known bolts were gonna break like that, I just would have just broke them off. And truthfully, I was just gonna take them all off in one unit until I saw that it had those mud flap things on them. Now, truthfully, I can go back up to town and buy a pair of those for about 30 bucks. And with everything new, I'm actually really considering it. So let's get these mud flaps on, or the hangers on, and then we'll clean these up, see what they look like, and if I can polish a turd, I will, but if they're bad, we'll just go get some new ones. So I'm sitting here looking at these. This one I can clean up pretty good, and you'll never see this, but this one's completely trashed. And truthfully, I think I'm probably just going to go to town and get that pair for 30 bucks. Should have bought it while I was there. I just wanted the tape because the old ones, the way we used to do it, had a long enough ridge on the back side where you run tape over it, but things have changed. So let me show you where we're at, and then we'll just go pick those up. So we got these apart, and see, I mean, there's a little residue here and this right here. You know, all this will come out. So yeah, it all looks pretty good. You can give these a little bit of a twist to tighten and snug them, but you don't have to kill them. Whoops. There we go. That one's on where it needs to be. So yeah, they look pretty good. Oh, that fell out of one. So hey, here's the spring out of one. It's a pretty beefy guy there. I guess this will end up in the scrap pile too. Looks like we got a flat tire on the Oldsmobile. I'm actually thinking about doing something fun with this car. There's been so many of these stupid will it run videos lately. Abandoned car, all this. Don't get me wrong, I love the OG guys. Vice Grip Garage, Dylan McCool, Roadkill, those guys kind of started the trend. But it's gotten a little ridiculous lately. So I'm actually thinking about making a mockumentary with it. Just this unabandoned car. It's been sitting 93 days. Will it start? And just having fun and just poking fun at the whole process. Let me know if you think it'd be funny, because, well, I'm going to do it anyways. Getting ready to take off. Look down. Well, one, I almost forgot the toolkit on the hood of the car, but look down and I realized I found my SIG. I need to quit leaving them in cars. 24 by 24 mud flaps are one of those things that's getting increasingly hard to get. You can find the 24 by 30 or 24 by 36, but the 24 by 24s, I don't know why, they're on everything, but nobody makes them. They make the big ones and they just expect you to cut them down. But I kind of want to keep the Kenworth logo centered, so I guess we'll have to cross that bridge when I get to it. So I'll have to measure it out, get a razor knife, and just go from there. So let's head to town. Like I said, it doesn't seem like I live that far out of town, but I actually do. And this little town doesn't seem like it's that far, but once you start driving, you know, it's an hour. You got an hour gone, and as a truck driver, an hour's a lot of time. So just kind of, let's go get back up to Kansas Truck Center, which is about 20-some miles away, and we'll go get it and we'll head back home. So we got the pieces we need, and we got them all put on. So let me show you what we're dealing with now, and show you the finished product. I ended up cutting about 3 inches out of the mud flap, so it's not too long, but I probably should have cut about 1 inch off the bottom, but I think they'll be fine. They're not dragging, so that's all that's important. New hangers. These right here were not a bad price at all, and those were real cheap. I'll tell you the price here in a bit. Now there's two other things that we need to look at. Now truthfully, I think I'm going to let the company fix this at the shop, but I'll show you what they are. This sensor here on the rear axle, I was hoping that they would send me a like on the Peterbilt, you can, this is all a harness you plug in, but apparently it's not here. So I have, this is a common failure point right here at the base. Yeah, in fact, you can kind of see it a little bit. And you just buy a new plug or have it repinned. Whoops. Yeah. On the old Peterbilts, that was a separate harness you could buy. Unplug, plug, click, snap. It all goes in real easy. Let me show you what they sold me. It was $18 at Kenworth. So it's this piece right here. It's a plug. It's just a replacement plug. Let me see if I'm not going to open it up, but see, it's got the connectors down there and the replacement plug there. So that's about $18. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the glove box, but the rear axle has been acting funny, and almost 100% of the time it's just that wiring harness just wearing out because it's, well, right there at the bottom next to the road. All this splattering you see right here is what happens when you park next to a dirtbag who dumps his bottle of urine out next to your truck. Those guys really irritate me because, well, throwing pee all over parking lots is why people don't want us places. Now this is the other thing. I don't know if it's the sensor or if it's the wire. From what I was told is this is loose by design. I pulled it out, plugged it back in, kind of finagled with it, but it goes all up through here and goes back through this whole mess here. So when I was sitting there talking to the people at Kenworth, they said there's several different kinds of overflow tanks, aftermarket overflow tanks, and I needed to know which one it was, or if this is OEM, because a lot of these are just depend on the tank. So I'm gonna wait till I get to the shop to figure out this one, but I think this is just a regular standard. Yeah, just a standard. Oh, it is a 3-pin. See, well, there you go. Everybody kept telling me I had a 2-pin, so this tells me that this has been replaced, and I need to figure out whether it's the aftermarket sensor here or if it's the wiring. And truthfully, with a replacement tank, you get a new sensor, so that may have been what happened here. But as for the wire, we'll just have to take a look and have it repinned. And this is kind of where it comes to picking and choosing your battles with this stuff. If you're not sure about it, don't bother with it. But there's something I do need to fix here. The zip tie broke here, and this right here is zip tied for a very real reason. So I'm going to get some zip ties and put that back together. A lot of times, a lot of the things you see like that don't make sense, but they're real. It's a cheap fix for a very real problem. Vibration on these trucks is a real deal, and if you get something that's vibrating just wrong, especially in a real harmonic way, you'll break a lot of stuff and not even know it. Much like my tape measure, I have 14,000 zip ties and I have no idea where any of them are. So I'm really glad I didn't buy that sensor or that wiring harness. You wouldn't believe, everybody I talked to said that these trucks all had the white sensors were all 2-pin. Apparently they were wrong. This is why you double check everything. And if you're not sure, don't buy. Might have to make another trip up there, but it's better to make another trip up there with the right information than have to go back with a part you didn't need. And that's fixed. I put 3 little ones on there. These are what I had, but they will hold until I can find a big one. I might actually have to just go to the dealer and see if I can buy one of the big ones like that. But it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's keeping it secure and keeping it out of the fan, so that's good. So let me get all of this cleaned up. I'm gonna get inside where it's warm here, and I'll tell you how much all of this cost. So how much did all of this cost? I'm not gonna count the $2.13 for those strips. They were 99 cents a piece. I thought I was going to use them. I'm not going to. I might stick them on something else. I'm not sure yet, but so yeah, we're not going to count that. So the mud flap hangers. I bought the set. They were a list price at $322.38, but I gave them $202.12 for the pair. This is where having a good company with a good account will get you deals. I've gotten things half off because of who I work for and the account. The markups on these is ridiculous. The connector list price $24.48. I paid $18.65, and the mud flaps were $12.58 a piece. List $18.12 a piece. So basically $20 again for 12. And all of that at Kenworth when I bought was $264.38 with tax. Not bad. I gave $35.74 for the reflective strips on the chrome sheets. $38.42 all in. So I mean, we are about $305 all in. Not bad at all. Could I have done it cheaper? Probably. The reason I went with those mud flaps is I haven't found the ones I want yet. And so, you know, some of those things take time, but I needed something that looked halfway decent. So for about $300, I got it all done. And truthfully, if I hadn't been recording and I had everything with me, this would have been literally a 15-minute job. Truthfully, had I not taken those chrome strips out, if I had new ones, it literally just would have been 4 bolts, and I would have taken the old ones off apart and stuck the new ones on, and it would have been literally a 20-minute job. I started lubricating the bolts down probably a week and a half ago. Had I known they would just break off, I literally would have not even wasted the WD-40 and just broke them all off. Something to think about. If you're going to do it, you might as well buy all new stuff. Don't bother trying to save anything. Like I said, theoretically, I could have put these together in the house, gone out, broke those 4 bolts on, slammed them up, and had it done in 15 minutes. Not bad. So, as for the electrical stuff, I'm not going to mess with it. I got guys with all the proper tools. In fact, they might actually just, there's so much slack on that other harness. Instead of putting the new harness on, they might actually just cut it, repin it, and put it back on. And I've had them do that before. So, yeah. So I can get the rear axle temp gauge working. And like I said, as for the water sensor, you know, when you're not sure what you're doing and you're all over the board with it, get with someone who does. Figure it out. Or just hold off. Yeah, the dinging is a pain, but you know what? If you know you're full up, you're not smelling antifreeze, your temperature's fine, and it's going on and off, and the wrench isn't coming up, it takes some getting used to and some nuances to figure it out, but once you figure it out, it's not going to bother you at all. I mean, it'll bother you, but until you go get it fixed, it'll be a really easy fix. So, yeah, so basically all we got done today was the mud flaps, but they came out pretty good. And you know, like the other stuff, the back harness, like on the Peterbilts, if it was a click-in, plug-in harness like it was on the Peterbilt, 5 minutes. You buy the whole harness, click, click, zip tie, you're done. This is not that. So, since it's not that, and I really don't feel like screwing anything up, I got guys for that. I'll just take the pieces up there and have them put them on, pay them a little bit of labor when I get the other stuff done. Plans for the truck include hopefully putting some new seats in here in the next month and a half, and probably towards the end of the year we're going to put tires on it. But truck's running great. It's doing everything I want it to do. The mileage has been phenomenal, and it's been a real money maker. So I can't argue with any of that. So I guess that's it for the video. We didn't get a whole lot done, but I showed you that changing these flaps and the hangers and all that, so much easier than people are making it out. Now, when you start putting into lights and the lights and all that, yeah, you might want to, you know what I mean, get a professional or wire everything up. Unless that's something you enjoy doing, and I don't discourage that. Or if it's something you want to try, I don't discourage that either. Just make sure if you get over your head, don't be afraid to ask for some help. That's all I'm saying. So, guys, that's it for today. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. You guys have fun, and we'll catch you next video.